Then comes effective delegation and administration. Definitely, it is a part of monitoring and controlling. When it comes to execution, there are lots of yes, we can plan, yes, we can definitely estimate with accuracy, and we can also have a very risk management plan in place, whatever the case might be. But if you have not formed a team right, if you have not delegated the work properly, then the project is going to fail. And it is, trust me, it is very easy. Some project managers might be thinking it is very easy. You just need to build a WBS and then assign the task. It in real time project, in large project especially, it in complex kind of situation, it does not work. Why? Because in complex situations, client comes with different changes. For example, if you see in a project, in an IT web application development, if there is an interface, then client with come number of 100 changes in the interfaces, so it keeps on changing. So delegation means you need to assign tasks to the expert. For example, I will assign the interface design to the person who is really good in creativity, who has that skill. But in many cases, in practical scenario, we don't get that kind of resources in our team. Then what to do? Then definitely there are certain things which you need to understand. Maybe certain team members would like to go in graphic designing, they want to make a career in graphic designing. You have to connect with the people, with your team, and assign, delegate the job accordingly, so that they are also motivated, productivity of the team is high. Then definitely effectiveness is the foundation of success. All said and done, if communication of the project manager is not effective, overall plan, whenever if there is a meeting also, it's not effective. I have seen many project managers, even I have done it in the initial stage of my career, like as a project manager. I have taken team meetings in hours, and at the end, there were no output from those meetings. Even with the customer, we used to talk about the issues, and so many issues. Meetings and all take so much of long hour, but it didn't have an agenda, and they just, it closes off with specific output. So as a project manager, it's very important when we are conducting meeting with senior managers, because they are the one who sanctions your budget, project budgets, and they are the one who listens to your concerns and get more resources if you need for a project, and you need to alert them whenever there is a red situation in the project. So all these things can happen when a proper agenda and proper presentation of your whole project, like the scorecard, and also the issues in a proper format, it is presented to the senior management or the stakeholders, they will understand. So effectiveness is the foundation of the project success. Let's move on to the next topic, which is representation of the plan. So how you have made a plan, you have made estimates, but how you will represent it, that also matters a lot, because according to the representation, maybe I'm repeating this, and in each domain it is totally different. In each domain, it happens that like whether you are in manufacturing or real estate, the clients sometimes they are not functional, and also they do not understand the technicalities of the project. Then this representation of the plan plays a very important role, because for the project, certain project, they have a very long duration. So till the final outcome is produced, the client has to wait. So in those cases, the representation of the project plays an important role, because many a times, and it has happened to me in one of the project, if I go on leave, so certain times the client comes with a with an escalation that your team was not communicating to us, the representation of the plan goes wrong, and client misunderstands certain things, they also have concerns. So the representation of the plan, it should be very proper to the customers and the stakeholders. So with all the work we have done, like estimation and planning, now time is to represent the plan in well formatted way. We need to understand schedule is not the plan. If you go to the PMP certification books, PM book, it's PM project management plan constitutes schedule also and other things also. which is a huge template, and it is organization and project specific. So the schedule represents a group of timings that you are going to, that you have planned for your project. The total project plan comprises literally everything you have done in the project's planning phase. So when we say that, when we are representing a plan, what are the key items? What are the key aspects? So the first one is your deliverables and the milestones. The items you are actually going to deliver, broken down into logical, manageable chunks that we have already spoken about. Then comes the schedule, the goals that will be achieved on given timings based on the estimate you have compiled. Because I'm again reiterating the fact that these are the estimates which are approved by the client, and definitely it will be a baseline. These things, so there are various version of the plan. So as I told, if you are working in a very large project, if you are working in a huge project, then the first step is you will have a baseline. Then it keeps on changing, because trust me, it is not practically possible if you're working on a new development project, and it is not practically possible that you can just give the customer in one shot one plan and the team will stick to it and it will be as planned, the execution will also go. It never happens. So the client also keep on changes the requirement, and sometimes it is our understanding also changes. We might would have thought that task A will take 10 days, but it could be different. So it is always there will be a scope of re-estimation. So that's why in certain terminologies like CMMI and certain methodologies, it is termed as baseline, and the version keeps on changing. Then comes the risk management plan. And risk management plan is the risk you have anticipated that we have seen, and the step you will take to mitigate them if they materialize. And with this, there is one extra item which is about the assumptions and constraints. The circumstances or factors you have assumed to be true and that you have identified as limitations, combined to explicitly state the framework or context you are operating within. I can give you an example of assumption that when we are developing an application, for example, we are developing a website. So certain times the content like newsletter or press releases, the client says they will give you. So these are certain kind of, it's a simple assumption. And there could be another assumption that when I am developing our team is developing an ERP system, then certain times, since we are new to the system and it will take years to understand the system which is already running for 20 years, we are going to upgrade it. It is better to get the knowledge from the customer itself who knows it very well. So in those cases, it is assumed that the knowledge will be transferred, or we will be using certain existing business logic. So these things are the assumptions in a particular project. So when we represent a plan, there are certain items which come from the initiation. And depending on the project, it may well be sensible to reiterate the reasons why you are undertaking the project, because it could be from the contract, like what is the purpose of the project. That's very important. That is called as the project goal. At the end, what this project should achieve. For example, if it is a website, then it could be that it should achieve, or if it is a digital marketing project, then it should be like, if it is a website, okay, we will go back to that example of website, that if it is a website, then what the client's goal will be, definitely to that more and more people come and visit their website. If it is a startup company, they want to build an online presence, they want to increase their brand visibility. So for those clients, it could be having more hit from the users, internet users. So that all these things are very important to note down in the plan, because unless and until as a project manager we are sure about the goal, we won't be able to achieve that. And also when we say about certain assumptions and constraint, so when we say about assumption and constraint, I want to detail out one thing, that assumptions and constraints can be different for different projects. And usually project managers, they forget to mention that, but it is very critical to the project, because sometimes the project manager, they don't run the project for years. So certain times the new project manager comes in and they handle the project. So they should, if it is documented somewhere, it is easier to handle the project, that what are the assumptions and constraints of this project, why this project was built. So these details helps the new project manager to get in to execute the project. So because many a times it's not practical, right? Like you have got the project and you will be there till the end. It's not possible if it is running for years. So these are the reasons. So now we have seen how to represent a plan very effectively, so that it is easily understood by the customer, it is easily understood by the team leaders and the team.